Hello, everybody. Welcome to my channel, and thank you for joining. Now, today's episode, we're going to have a Q&A segment. Okay, you ask the questions, and I answer them. Just calm down. Now, before I start the Q&As, I have a question for you, which I need an answer for. Okay, and the question is, how is the audio? Watch the whole video, okay? After you watch the video, how is my audio? Because I'm trying to fix the problem. I've been muffling, something going on with the microphone. I think I fixed it, okay? I've changed a few settings. I think I might have found the right... I hit the magic buttons today, so I think I got it right. So let me know in the comments if the audio is a lot better than what it used to be. Now, let's move on to some of these questions, okay? Now, let's start answer some questions. And we have one from my boy here, Supercoach Pro. Now, Supercoach Pro has a YouTube channel. You can actually click on here and you can get his YouTube channel if you just type in Supercoach Pro. We're trying to get him as close as possible to 1,000 followers. So if you can help me to achieve this, he'll be so happy because he's putting out so much content, not getting rewarded for it. So anything helps. So if we can help Supercoach Pro get to 1,000, it'll be awesome. Now, he's asked me a question here. He says here, who's the one player you're confident to anti-pod? Primo over 20% owned. Well, I can tell you right now, okay, his name is Smith, okay? Now, Bailey Smith, I'm anti-podding him, and I'm loving it, okay? I want to see him in 90% of teams. I'm happy to anti-pod him, and if he goes nuts, okay, I'll eat humble pie and I'll just grab him, okay? But at the moment, I'm just going to anti-pod him because I'm going to enjoy watching him kick the ball with his shins and his knees, okay? That makes me very happy. Just calm it down. Now, the next question comes from my boy here, Footy Degenerate. He just discovered me. I just discovered him. We just discovered each other. We've become romantic right now. So he writes here, when did you use your boosts last year? Okay, well, to answer this question, okay, they were gone in the first 5 weeks. Okay, I used all of them. Greedy guts, okay? I like to use up everything. If you put a pizza in front of me, I'm not going to save some for tomorrow. I'm going to eat it all today. So I gobbled them all up in the first 5 weeks, all gone. Everything was finished. Now, his second question is, and when do you plan to use them this season? Okay, well, hopefully I can use them when I'm upgrading, okay? But the chances are very high that I'm going to be using these boosts when I'm doing correction trades because for me, correction trades are more important than the upgrades itself because we need to get our team in Mickey Mouse shape from the start, okay? We need to put the right engine in, okay? Because if we have a Ferrari and we've got no engine in that Ferrari, is not good, okay? It's poo-poo. So we need to get that Ferrari running smoothly from the start. So the boost will help this happen. So I would say I'll be wasting the boosts doing it straight away, but I have to because team comes first. You can't have a good season if you have a bad engine. So we need to get that engine in good gear straight away. Now, he also mentions here hoping to nail starting team as best as possible to save the boost for main buy rounds. Actually, we don't need the boost for the main buy rounds, okay? The reason why is you have 3 trades in the main buy rounds already. By the time we get to these main buy rounds, we should have already had 22 primos in our teams. So there's not much upgrading to do. So we're not. They're going to give us 3 trades in the buy rounds. We're not going to use 4 of them. So I don't think they're going to be necessary in these buy rounds. But they're going to be vital for when we're upgrading our team. So if we don't use them at the start when we don't get the team right, it's very good, okay, very handy. So nailing the team is vital, okay, which I've never nailed a team yet, okay. It's taken me 75 years. I still can't nail it. Just calm it down. Now, I have a question here from my boy Woodsy. Now, Woodsy asks, does Lockie Ash have the potential to score better than Whitfield? They have basically the same stats, except for the fact that Ash has the tackle factor getting 7 compared to Whitfield's 1. It's a good question, okay? And I sort of answered this question yesterday when I was watching, when I was doing the review on this game, I noticed that Lockie Ash hardly scored anything in the first half. Okay, he was very quiet. 25 fantasy points from memory. Then he scored 100 fantasy points in the second half, and that was when Whitfield had cramp and moved out of that spot. So Whitfield played more of it looked like a back pocket, half back. It wasn't more of a half back, more of a back pocket. So Whitfield, with his cramp, couldn't move, which then gave Lockie Ash more freedom. That's how I saw it. So I want to see. I wouldn't bring in Lockie Ash to start with. I'd want to see another week of Lockie Ash with a Whitfield that's not cramped up, and then see what they can score together. Now, Matt Supercoach, or Matt SC, has asked me a question here. It says here, is Will Day a lock? All right, potential tags coming every round. Well, to be honest, Will Day is 490k, all right? If Will Day was 600k with potential tags coming every round, then I would be worried. Will Day at 490k with potential tags, I'm not worried because of the fact that those tags aren't going to come every week, and he's going to eventually go nuts. So with Will Day, we're going to have to bear the pain. Okay, there's going to be small pain for more gain. Okay, that's how I see it. So for me, Will Day's a lock. Okay, I've locked him in, and I'm happy to cop these tags early on because let's say Will Day's name was Lockie Neal, and Lockie Neal was 650k. Well, then I wouldn't start Lockie Neal because I would want Lockie Neal to drop in price. Then I'll grab him. Will Day is not going to drop in price. Okay, Will Day is supposed to make us cash. It just may taking a little bit longer to make the cash. Okay, with these tags coming, that's the only difference. So yes, the answer is Will Day is a lock. Now we go to my boy here, Francis, and he asked me, I'm only shopping at the reject shop. So me and Francis, we shop at the same place, okay? We both go to the reject shop together. We both queue up sometimes when they have specials on. So I've seen Francis there many times. And he says, 3 rookies on field. I can't come down now. 3 rookies on field. Let's count them, okay? We've got Boyd here. That's one. Who else? He's got Sanders at M8. Look, unbelievable. He's got Reed. Where's his rookies? He's only got 2 rookies on field. If I count right, no, he's got Davidson as well. 1, 2, 3. He's actually not lying. Okay, he's saying the truth. Now I don't know how this is going to work. Okay, this is an interesting team. Flynn at R2 worries me, okay? This is a big problem. Now, because Flynn at his price, 280k, all right, or 2C, whatever he's costing, all right? If he goes down, let's say he gets injured, okay? We know AFL players get injured, especially if their name is Flynn, okay? He lives in hospitals, the young man, the poor young man. He's in the injury ward every 2 weeks, okay? He almost lives there, so it's a massive risk because when Flynn goes down, you're going to have to adjust your whole team. I'd rather have Flynn here at flex, okay? Have Boyd here at R3 because what happens if Boyd gets dropped and Reed doesn't play? You don't have a flex spot. You have Flynn getting injured, so this won't work, okay? I can't see Flynn at flex going to work this year. Because of the fact we can't find another replacement. We don't know how much job security Reed has. We're even not sure. We know that Sims is not playing round 1. We know Reedy is not the best, okay, and Shrek's coming back. So this R3 spot is only going to be for Boyd, I think. Now we go to this young man here, Nick Strang, and he says here, hey Abs, I need to find an extra 40k. Okay, he's poor, he needs money, okay, so he's broke. So he thinks I'm the bank, just coming down. Well, let's see how we can find his 40k for him. Okay, I'm the financial manager now. He says, by downgrading one of either Dunkley, Day, or Rosie. Well, you can't downgrade Day. I think Day must stay, okay. Rosie you can't downgrade, but you can downgrade Dunkley. You can go from Dunkley down to a 550k player. Dawson is a good prospect, okay? You could probably even go for the Melbourne boy, Petrarca. So there are 2 options if you need a 40k. That's what I would do. Now we go to the footy expert. This man is a professional, okay? He's the expert, and he says here, is Zach Merritt a good pick this year? I think Zach Merritt is a good pick every year, okay? However, there's always going to be stages where we can get Zach Merritt cheaper, and my philosophy is don't splash the cash. Okay, I try to save my money, and Zach Merritt does have the extra buy round, which is not convenient. So a lot of people have passed on Zach Merritt this year for that reason. So he becomes a pod. Okay, so if you want Zach Merritt as a pod, it's a good thing. We're not sure if Zach Merritt has this half back role now, so maybe it's a bit weary. Is he going to play half-back and a bit of midfield? What's he going to do now? So I'm confusion with Zach Merritt. So for me, it's a pass, but he's always a good pick, okay? So we're going to have to eventually have Zach Merritt in our teams. That's how I see it. Now we go to the Lobsters Supercoach, and Lobster here has mentioned Cheezels and Dawson, or Whitfield and Brayshaw. Both very good options. And, well, Whitfield has a bye round. The other three don't. Possibly has to be Cheezels and Dawson for this reason. So I would say Cheezels and Dawson because Whitfield has that bye round. So you're going to get extra points. Regardless, they're all good. They're all good picks. Okay, I think all the options is a very nice. Okay, just come down. Now, we go to a FPL Aussie here now. FPL Aussie, I should be asking you some questions in regards to FPL because I'm confused with FPL right now. It's driving me nuts. But he says here now, wait to see Callahan for first round and potential transfer in round 3 or start. Okay, we saw what Callahan can do. Okay, now you got to keep in mind he had 85% disposal efficiency. That's massive. Okay, so normally Callahan would go around about 60s. I've seen a lot of 60s in his with his disposal efficiency, but that was on the wing. Okay, sometimes when you're on the wing, you kick it and you kick it long to a forward line, and maybe they get outmarked. So that's possibly a reason. Or in their midfield. He was very handy, very disposal efficiency very high. I'm starting him. Okay, I'm happy to cop the one bye round, and I'm going to start him. I know that we're going to see Green come into the team very soon. Okay, so Green's going to come in. Is this going to affect Callahan? I don't think it will. I think it's going to affect more or less Kelly. Kelly probably goes out to the wing now. So I see Callahan holding that spot. He just got a new contract, got offered millions from St Kilda. His time has come. Okay, it's Callahan's season, I think now. Just come down. Now we go to my boy here, Lucas Snowball. He asked me a question. Rankin and a forward rookie on field. Probably Stone. Okay, maybe Stone scores a 60, 65. Okay, so that's the question. Or Baslenka and Garcia. Okay, that's another question now. Which one? Now, Rankin we know is a top 2, maybe top 1, maybe the best. We don't know how far up in the pecking order in our forward line he is, but I'd say top 2 with a rookie who's going to make some cash compared to Baslenka. Okay, now Smith is the other name for him. Now, is Smith going to be a top 6? Not sure. You're paying 400k and not sure. Okay, is he going to make a lot of cash? I don't know. Okay, now and Garcia. Garcia is a tackling machine. We know he's going to have 10 tackles a game on average, a minimum. But kicks, they kick the same. They went to the same school when they kick the balls. Okay, they both kick with their shins and knees. Sometimes they kick with their heads. Okay, they can't even kick the ball, both of them. So I would say Rankin and a forward rookie would be my go. We now go to Michael Higginson, and he asked me, even though they scored 60s, do you think Patton, Leake and Stone will stay in their respective teams long enough to at least get 2 price rises? Okay, we actually prefer them to get 4 price rises. Okay, now I see Stone, yes. I see Patton, I'm not sure. Okay, Sydney defence, he didn't look that good. Okay, Patton, to be honest, but unfortunately we don't have many options, so we're sort of stuck with him, and we're just going to pray to the Supercoach gods that he can stay there. Leak job security, I'm nearly 10, maybe 5% sure he'll get it. So 95% says I don't think he'll get it. 58% time on ground scares me. That wing role that he may have had, it's going to go once Green comes in the team. Also, that midfield role is going to go once Green comes in a team. I can't see Leake holding these spots, unfortunately, unless we see some injuries. So I can't start Leak myself. Unfortunately, it's going to be tough. We need defenders, and Leak's not going to be one of them. Now we go back to Lucas Snowball, who's just asked the same question about Rankin. He's obviously a very confusing young man right now with Rankin. Okay, now he's asking, is Rankin a must-have? Yes. The answer is yes. He's cheap. He's going to have a lot of mid minutes, according to the coach. I say you'd have to lock in Rankin, because the thing with Rankin is a ceiling. Okay, if he can have a ceiling score of say 130, 140 of a ceiling score, and let's say his floor is down to about 80 to 90, that's good enough. That ceiling score is going to destroy a lot of teams. So Rankin is a must-have, I think. Now, unbelievable, okay, unbelievable, says here now, how many 300k to 500k players are too many? Good question, okay. You need to have guns in your team as well, okay. So as long as, if these 300 to 500k players can all go up to 500 to 600, some of them, because you need the 500k players to be 600k players eventually. So you need to see these players be really good. Like Ed Richards, for example, he's 530k. I've backed him in to be a 600k player. Whether he does that or not is another story, okay? So, but I've backed him in for that. So if you're going to back in these players, they need to be very good. So there's no limit on them. As long as you can get all the ones that go massive. They need to have high ceilings. That's very important, because a ceiling will get their prices up. Eventually, you may have to get rid of all of them. Okay, they're not all going to be. None of them are probably going to be keepers. They have to pretty much all go, except the forwards. The forwards we keep, but the ones in the midfield and the ones in defence, I think eventually they're going to have to all go. Now, Jack here has asked me a question, and it's a Lockie Neal and a 200k rookie, or Finn Callahan and Will Day / Chera. I'm taking the Callahan and Will Day / Chera option. I've actually done that option, so with Jack, with the question here, definitely I would go Callahan and Day. Although you'll see other people will go the opposite. There's no right answer to this one. Okay, this is going to be optional. It's going to be something you need to decide on, because my answer is not going to be the correct answer, but it's going to be the answer that I've gone with. Okay, so a little bit different there. Now, because there's no right or wrong with this question. Now, M War number 22 asked me, his agent 22 asked me, is this what we call overkill? Let's have a look at the overkill. We've got a lot of mid prices here. Rivers I'm not sold on. The rest of them are pretty good. Okay, even Ashcroft, we haven't. Don't know how much mid time he's going to get, but we know that he can still score well without the mid time. So it is overkill, but it's not. I don't mind it. Maybe Rivers. Maybe between Rivers and Ashcroft you could do something. Maybe all between Rivers and Satsas. Okay, I'm not sure, but if we can if we can get Peatling here, okay, I wouldn't mind it. Sorry, Perryman. Get Perryman here instead of Rivers, and I'll be a bit more happy, more comfortable with this team. Now, Arush J asked me a question. He says here, is Gorn plus Tracker plus Oliver overkill? Actually, no, it's not. Okay, I like all three of them. I think all three of these players will eventually be in all of our teams. And all Gorn sounds expensive, okay? 660k, that sounds like a lot, especially for me, okay? 660k is unheard of for me to start with, and I'm starting Gorn because I actually think 660k for Gorn is value. I think he's going to go higher. So Gorn, I think Tracker at his price, not sure on Tracker, 550k. If he starts in the midfield, it's a bargain. If he has say 40% mid minutes and say 60% forward, it's not a bargain. A lot of the Melbourne supporters are telling me that Tracker will play more mid time, possibly 70 to 80%. So let's see on this one. But it's not overkill. Definitely not overkill. Now Dylan has asked if I can review this team. Okay, let's have a look at this team now. Let's open this in a new tab. Let's have a look. Okay, now got Zorko the Magnificent here. Got Short. Similar structure to mine in defence. Although, I'm not sure on O'Connell and Leak. He might need to find two other players here to fit the spot. Okay, and I think you might have to splash the cash on our Sydney boy, so he might have to come in here, and we're just going to have to pray that O'Connell plays. Midfield, it's solid, very solid. I like this midfield a lot. Even Ashcroft on the bench, very solid. Got the cash. Okay, it's a rich club. Now, I now don't like this. I don't like Flynn at R2. So unfortunately, for me, this is a pass. Flynn is just too dangerous. If you got Flynn at flex, then I'm happy. Okay, but you need to find a ruckman, I think. I think Flynn is not the answer. If Flynn goes down, this team is doomed. You got trouble. You got to start finding. You got to get rid of a Dawson or a Brayshaw. It can work. Okay, you can find the cash, but it just means 2 trades have to be done. And if Flynn's not the number 1 ruckman, because we don't even know who the number 1 ruckman is at West Coast, which is even a bigger problem. So if he's not the number 1 ruckman at 260k, then it's a big problem. That's why at flex, if you had him at flex, you can solve these problems. You just got to downgrade him to someone. So it's easier to fix. Only needs 1 trade. Whereas at R2, you need 2 trades to fix up the problem. Now, disqualified. Okay, the young man has been disqualified. Very unfortunate for the young man. And he asked me, Tom Powell, yes or no? I think it's a no, okay? If it's a quick question, yes or no question, it's a no, because Tom Powell, I had him last year. North Melbourne's got a lot of midfielders in that team. We saw Powell play well, but there was no Simpkin playing. There was no their new recruit from Sydney playing, so Parker. So Powell, I'm not sold, okay? There's so many mouths to fit in this North Melbourne team. He could be the 4th or 5th banana. We don't know. So for that reason alone, I say it's a pass, because there's probably better options with the same price range, is what I'm thinking. Now, Oliver Broomhall has asked me another question, okay? He says, I think I already left several trillion questions, okay? And this is several trillion number 3. And the question is, who is the best person to trade out for Sir Finn Callaghan? Okay, now, so I'm assuming that we're assuming that Finn Callaghan's going to have a bad game. So who are going to trade it? Who are going to replace him with is the question. And to be honest, if you're going to start Callaghan, it's best to see. We're going to find out. So you can't answer that question now, because you'll get enough information over, say, 2 weeks or 3 weeks. To find out the best replacement. So this one is a wait and see, I would say. Now this one is coming from user 177-274-8282. Okay, he's like a secret agent, and he asked me Libba ? Libba is grandpa status right now. Concussion issues last year. We got the Bont gonna come back. We're not expecting Libba to make money. He's gonna maybe 560k, maybe go to 620. Is he a keeper? Is he a top 8? He's not young, okay? He's grandpa. I'd say no, okay, for Libba, unfortunately. Although Libba could go nuts with the Bont out, but it's just a risk now at his age, okay? So I'd go for the younger boys now. I'd go for Ed Richards as the weapon, okay? That's who I'd go for. Now, the rookie coach, another gun, okay? And if you go onto YouTube, subscribe to rookie coach, it make him very happy, okay? And even though he says here rookie coach, he's actually should say gun coach, because he's actually a very good coach. Now, he says here, how are you meant to pick between Oliver, Ashcroft, Chera, Day, and Callaghan? And is it crazy to have all of them? Okay, so he wants to be greedy guts. Okay, that's the issue. It's the question. He goes, can I be greedy guts? That's the question. And to be honest, if they're all going to score, okay, if they're all going to score, say, a 1-5 to 110, there's no reason why you can't have all of them. Okay, so the answer is it's not crazy, because it's in other seasons, we don't have 400k mid prices all going to go at 105. They even got ceilings. We saw what Callaghan did, 148. We saw Day go 146 or something. So they all have ceilings. So it's not crazy at all. And I have no hesitation in bringing in players that can go at 105 or 110. I'm going for value. These players offer value. Now we go to Dash Mello, and he asks me here, Abs, tell me why Heaney won't be a top 6 mid again this year. Okay, so he says here last year he had mid minutes, okay, and these are Jets. I Untaggable is another question. Can mark the ball, kick goals, great pod. Well, the answer to your question is he can be a top 6 mid again. So I agree with you, Darshmello. Big chance Heaney can be a top 6 mid. The problem with Heaney is that bye round, okay? We haven't seen Heaney play with Mills in the team, so we want to see this. We can wait on Heaney. There's no rush. Bring him in after the bye rounds. When it's upgrade season, he may drop a low score, so we can probably bring him in. He's not cheap like last year. He was cheap. This year he's at a primo price, and he deserves to be at that price. But when you're at that primo price, we can wait for him and see if he drops in price, okay? Don't forget, it's like the stock market, okay? It's buy low, sell high. So we want to buy Heaney at his cheapest. Now, Tim Vapidis asked me a question, okay? He says, why does Channel 7 stink? Okay, he thinks they're smelly, okay? Now, Channel 7 is very smelly. He says here, I don't know every single player in the league by face or number. Neither do I, okay? I'll confess, I don't either. So, Channel 7 never displays a graphic telling the audience who just kicked the goal. Just a quick cut to commercial, and me left wondering if that guy was on my Supercoach team or not. Actually, I agree with you, Tim. You know why? Because I look for the kicking sometimes, and the camera is not on the person kicking the ball in. I want to see if my boy is going to kick that ball in, and all I'm looking at is someone in the midfield or somewhere else. The camera's focused somewhere else. It drives me insane. Okay, so you have a very good point there, Tim. My friend here, Chris Davis, asked me a question. He says, how many of your current starting team do you see yourself having at all season long? Okay, now, I'll be honest, Chris, not many. Okay, maybe 6 of them, okay, at the most. Okay, maybe the forward line, 4 of them. Probably Gornets, 5. In the midfield, probably nobody, okay, in the midfield. Probably Zorko the Magnificent is 6. I only got 6 of them. I'm going to make wholesale changes at Evans Magic. All the Spuds will leave this team, so there won't be many Spuds left, hopefully, by the end of the bye rounds. Now, Logan has asked me a question. He says here, hey, Abs, do we need to be looking at a 5-deep defence line? Just can't see 2 rooks with decent job security being trusted on field for more than 2 to 3 weeks. He mentions here Payton and Leak. However, it feels like I then miss out on a whole value mid Dawson track. I can't read this one, okay? Appreciate it. Now, you got a good point there, Logan. A good question. What I'm thinking is I'm actually going to go 4 deep because I want to get all these value players. I don't want to miss them either. And I'm not going to start Leak, okay? So you're going to ask, where's my other 4th mid coming or 4th defender coming from? I'm probably going to grab Allen and just put him on the bench because I know Allen's going to play eventually, okay? And he's just ill. So probably his job security is a lot more secure than what Leak and Payton is. So I'm just happy to put Allen on the bench. He's not going to play round 1. So when he eventually plays, maybe round 2, round 3, these players will be sitting down while Allen's playing. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Now, Chris Davis has asked me another question. Okay, he says here, how long before round 1 Thursday night are you taking Jaden Short out of your team? Well, at the moment he's still there, so I think I'm going to start him. I'm happy to risk it with Jaden Short. I did a poll earlier today asking who scores more points, Jaden Short or Will Ashcroft. Jaden Short won the poll. I nearly fell off my chair. I couldn't believe this. So I'm going to start Jaden Short, I think. Now, the Proletariator. Okay, I think that's how you pronounce it. How do you say this? The Proletariator. Okay, now I usually can't pronounce words more than 6 letters long, so I'm not going to pronounce all of this. So the Proletariator has asked me rank and score project for 200k rookies. So this is one area of my weakness. Okay, I can't rank rookies, okay? I'm only good with stats that I have information on. I don't have much information on none of these, okay? So ranking these is going to be very hard. But I have Sheldrick. You have Sheldrick on the bottom. I'm going to leave him there after I saw him play last week. Okay, so Sheldrick can stay there. At the top, who will be at the top? We look for their positions, where they're going to play. Well, Tatsitsky, okay, well, he's got the midfield role, okay? So, and Allen has the midfield role. So does Smiley, but Tatsitsky and Allen have hit the gym a bit harder, or have pre-season training, a few years of it. So I'd say these two, Taziski and Allen, at the top. Okay, I'd put in probably Nod third. Okay, if Foss plays a defensive role, maybe I'll push Foss a bit higher. But at the moment, if he's on the wing, maybe Foss fourth, maybe Smiley fifth, and Laylaw sixth. Because Laylaw, if he plays forward, probably going to be a bit lonely up there at Richmond, because the ball probably not going to travel there much. So probably going to get 40% action when he's in the midfield, and 60% contesting for marks. So that's how I see it. Now, Chris Davis has another question for me. He says here, what's the plan if Boyd doesn't play? Just going to chuck him on the bench, okay? Because the other players have got no job security either. So I'll just keep the 99k player on the bench. Now, Deadly, the man that's very deadly, okay? Now, if you don't know who Deadly is, you can find him on the Supercoach Horses channel. They're both together. And now Deadly's asking me this question. He says, have to pick between Gawn or Sherry. Who are you taking? I'm taking Gawn every day of the week, because Gawn has a good matchup this week. 200 points coming. Has a good matchup in round 4. Probably another 200 points coming. And round 4 is also one of those bye rounds. And a captain score of 200 in the bye round is insane. Or maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit. Maybe a 170. But that's still good enough. So for that reason alone, I'm taking Gawn. The second reason is Sherry with that round 12 bye makes me very scary. Okay, I get very scared. So I'm going to bring in Sherry after round 12. Okay, after his bye, because I don't want to have headaches when it gets to round 12. Now, another legend on Twitter is the Frio girl, and she asked me, "Hey Abs, I wasn't sold on Perryman. He seems to be hot in patches and very cold at times, and the pies look terrible." Okay, you're right there. Okay, I saw the same game; it was terrible. So I'd like your opinion, because I'm confusion. And to be honest, Perryman may not have scored well. Okay, but I actually liked what I saw. He had 27 disposals. He played 3 quarters in the midfield, and then they moved him to defence. So he's not going to move to defence every week. They had to plug some gaps, okay, I suppose, and maybe look for alternatives in that midfield, because Dacos was cramping up. They needed to find something, and so I think Perryman at 410k, especially in defence, I think it's a yes from me. I've locked him in my team. Tom Clark asked me, okay, he says thoughts on Noah Anderson as a Dacos replacement. Round 2 bye isn't ideal, but reckon the soft draw might be worth targeting. To be honest, round 2 bye, all right, you're going to lose 40 points. The good thing with Anderson is his ceiling. It's massive, so he'll make up those points that you lost. So it's not a problem. Okay, that's especially when he gets to round 3 and round 4. If he goes nuts, it could be worth it. The only problem with Noah Anderson is his away record. I don't understand. I think he gets homesick. I think he misses the family at home, so he gets very lonely when he goes away. Maybe can't get along with his teammates. The bonding is not there. I'm not sure what's wrong with him, but he can't score when he's away from home. So I'd want to see him. I'd wait on Anderson. Maybe pick him up after his bye. The bye's early. You can make a correction trade and grab him after the bye. That's what I would do. Now, my boy here, Silvertop Hurley, who's now become a content creator, and I'm very happy for him. And he says here, who is the player that you're picking that if they weren't popular, you wouldn't? Actually, I don't do that. That's something I don't do. I don't look at players. When I pick my players or my team, I don't look if they're a pot or not. I pick the players that I think will do well for what they're priced at. So I never actually look at how many people own them. Sometimes I'm actually surprised when I see the end result, that the ownership is so low or so high. So to answer this question, there is no player that I would pick on popularity, because it's the only reason I pick these players is because I like them. And he asked me another question now. Silver Top Hurley, being a content creator, gives me all the tough questions now because last year he was giving me easier questions. This year he's become like I'm scientific now. He's become very high class. So the questions have become harder. Just calm it down. Okay, now the next question is, who is the player that you want to pick but won't because it's too risky to go against the crowd? Again, none. I've picked Ed Richards, 1% owned, very very high risk. Okay, and even carrying an injury cloud over him entering round one with a calf strain. I'll still pick him. Okay, no one's got him. I'm happy to. I take risks. Okay, at Abs Magic, danger is my business. Okay, we live dangerously here. When most people travel along the Nepean Highway, the Princess Highway, we drive our Ferrari on the Great Ocean Road, okay? We at high speeds, okay? We go nuts. Now, Brent Potunski, okay, I think it's Makedonski, okay? Brent Potunski asked me, is it overrated or underrated having a team with no players with the early buy? Surely you're getting a jump on others by having no premiums on an early buy round, okay? It's true, okay? Or is it more important to get the price rise with players like Roberts, Day, Callahan, etc.? Now, it's a very good question, Brent, and I'm glad you asked me this question because this question is probably going to be asked by a lot of people. And I'm going to give you an answer that may be unpopular, okay, because everyone has a different answer to this. So when I answer this question, it may be the wrong answer. But in my team, current team, I have 4 players that have early buy rounds. They're not exactly primos. They're sort of like the Robertses and the Days and the Callahans. Okay, they're players like this, and I have 4 of them. Well, three are here. Okay, and I have one more. Okay, and if there's value there, you have to take it. All right, you got to take the pain with the gain. All right, so Roberts, Day, and Callahan are going to miss one game. All right, so you're going to miss out on 50 points because you're going to have primos missing. So, however, well, sort of primo scores missing, not primos, but primo scores. However, when they are playing, they're priced at 440k. All right, so even points per dollar counts. So in round one, when Roberts is playing, and if like you saw in round 0, he scored a 120. At points per dollar, that's massive. So you may be losing points per minute during these buy rounds, but you're gaining from points per dollar later on. So I have no hesitation in starting these players that have the buy rounds, especially the value ones. Now, Camel 111 has a question. He asked me, how many 400k mid prices are too many? I currently have Perryman, Roberts, Day, Chera, Oliver, and McRae, but I really like Callahan also. It only leaves me with Neil at M1, then the mid prices. Well, let me tell you something, Camel. I don't even have Neil, and I got all those. So you're actually doing very well if you got Neil as well. Here is a thing. We play Supercoach. The rules of Supercoach is to pick players that have value. Every player there mentioned has value. So how do we knock them back? And how many is too many? I'm grabbing all of them. Okay, I'm greedy guts. If someone offers me chocolate and they say it tastes nice, how many do you want? It's for their value's going to go up. It's only half price now. I'm taking the whole lot. Just calm it down. Danny has asked me, how was the Ash roll? Is he the better option out of him and Whitfield? Well, Ash only scored 25 points till half time. It was only until Whitfield had cramp that when Ash went nuts. So I can't answer the question, okay? If I look at half the game, I would say Whitfield is much better option. So I would want to see Ash again with Whitfield fully fit without cramp, because he did move to the back pocket, sort of a bit of forward line. He wasn't the same Whitfield that we saw in the first half. Now, Loopy 2706 has asked me, at what price does a player go from needing to make cash as a stepping stone to needing to score like a keeper, particularly in the midfield? Okay, now, good question, Loopy 2706. Okay, good question. if a player like last year, let's use last year. I had Matt Crouch last year. It was 450k off memory. Okay, I can't remember exactly. I kept him as a keeper because he was doing so well. He went up to 600k. He was actually scoring better than most of my midfielders. So I kept him until he got injured, and then I had to get rid of him. And I was very sad the day he left. So if our midfielders are going to score like keepers, you just keep them, okay? Because they're doing the same thing. But if they score, let's say they score 105 and the Guns are scoring 115, that's when you upgrade them, okay? Because they're falling behind. You only upgrade them once your team is fully upgraded because there's no rush, okay? Only upgrade the ones that aren't performing, okay? So if you see that most of them are going at 110, if Day is going at 120, you keep him. Okay, if you see Chera going at 110, that's pretty much the same score as last year's M8. So he's good enough to keep. You can actually keep him as a spare. It only costs you 450k. So these mid prices, they don't have to go if they're scoring well. Okay, only when they're not scoring well is when we get upset. Okay, and we sort of give them the sack. Okay, that's what we do. Now, Kotzi has asked, what's more important, cash gen or saving trades? Now, he's asking the wrong person about the saving trades business because Adam's Magica, we don't save trades. So we don't even know what trades are after round 15. We've run out by then because cash gen is vital, okay, because you need a gun team, okay? You can't win Supercoach without a gun team. You also need to score points. Saving trades prevents you from scoring points very fast because you're holding back. Okay, now if you hold back, especially in the early rounds, correction trades, etc., it could not get you to the finish line ahead of the rest. Okay, it may get you to leagues and maybe in a grand final and possibly win a grand final. So if you're playing cash leagues, saving trades is vital. Okay, now saving trades is vital if you're going for first as well, but it's not easy, okay, because if you're coming, let's say, 40th, okay, and you want to come first, you got to make some moves, because you're not going to get the first without making those moves. So that's when trades come, and you got to use them again. So it's a tough question, but for leagues, you save trades. If you're going to go for the first, you don't stop, okay, you just go full ball, okay, you act like it's a marathon from the start. That's how I play it. Now, Lucas Snowball has asked me a question. Okay, now he's asked me my thoughts on Bailey Smith. Now, we didn't get to see him in the pre-season, but feel like it could be too risky not starting him, especially if he's starting on the ball. Okay, now, the good thing about Smith is he's highly owned. Okay, so if you do have him and he goes bad, it doesn't matter. A lot of people have him. So you got no problems there. How is he going to play? Now, I've given my opinion on him many times. At the Bulldogs, he had big games. Those games he had 40 touches, but those games he had 99% time on ground. He didn't play last year at all. Not sure how good his fitness is. Probably he's a very fit young man, so his fitness must be good. But he's not for me, okay? I don't think he's going to be a top 6 forward. I think there's going to be better options, okay? We may see Petrarca move into our forward line. We may see Marshall move in there. So we may have other options. So for me, it's a pass, but it's a risky pass for me. So it's up to yourself to decide because a lot of people do have him. I think last time I saw it was like 64%. It may have changed, I'm not sure. And he's quite cheap, so it's a good price. He is undervalued, so he does offer you value. Okay, so I'd say if he averages 90, he'll go up to about 450k. I can't see him averaging 110 if that's what you're after. Okay, I can't see it happening. I think 90 is going to be pretty much his average. Now, we got Nathan Eshmaid here. Now, Nathan asked me, the Portman he's from Port, okay, Nathan, and he says, keen for Cash League, how important are keepers in your starting squad? Okay, now, he's a Cash League player. I feel they are not that important, and people put too much worry into that when they don't start maybe value options. To win the game, you got to take risks, some pain. What do you think? you're asking the person that takes risks left, right, and centre. So in my team, I think I have 6 keepers. That's it. Okay, I need to upgrade 20. What was it? 20 or 18. Say we want 24 primos, so I need 18 upgrades in my team. So I've got too many to upgrade. I'm taking massive risks. But I'm happy with that because my upgrades won't cost too much because the stepping stones are going to be pretty much small stepping stones, not big ones. So to answer your question, it is important to have keepers in your starting squad, but some of these keepers are very expensive, okay? Well, Gorn is 660k, Sherry is 630k. They don't get tagged, so their prices may not drop. So they're worth starting. But when you got midfielders that do get tagged, they're the ones that are in danger of dropping in price. And when your midfielders drop in price, I want to get them as cheap as I can. So I'm playing the stock market game right now at Abs Magic. So we're pretty good with the stock market. We used to be in our younger days. So that's what I play, the stock market. So for me, it's all about value. Okay, I try to buy low and sell high. That's the aim. Now, my Greek friend here, Matthew Rumeliotis, okay, Tikanis Matthew. Now, he says here, is it too risky to fade Gorn early with Keith and SDK early? Could quite easily be 710k. And I've actually done the sums the other day. I did it in private with another content creator. And I come to the conclusion that you're actually right. Gorn is actually value at 660k. I found him to be actually quite cheap. I couldn't believe I'm saying this. So, Matthew, I think I can't fade Gorn. I've started him, and and people know me. I don't spend 600k on players. I've spent 660k on Gorn. So something is wrong with me this year. Now, Charles Zammett, my friend that loves his pastisses, okay, and he says to me, now the real question. Thoughts on Finn Callahan and Ash, and he says thanks champ. I think I mentioned this a few times already today, but in case you missed it, well, I haven't mentioned Callahan yet, but on Ash I have, and with Ash, I'm not sold, okay, because the first half I only scored 25 points. That's put me off. So I want to see what he can do in a full game when we have Lockie Whitfield not suffering from cramps. So let's find out how good Ash is with Lockie Whitfield fully fit in a full game. So we're going to find out more answers. And he's got the buy around anyway, so we can always do a correction trade to bring him in. Now, Callahan, on the other hand, is a different story. Okay, now, Callahan, here's how I see it. Okay, Callahan got offered millions or whatever they offered him at St Kilda. He didn't take it. He signed with GWS. And why would someone not take a big offer like that and sign with GWS? It's mind-boggling, okay? Now, here's my answer. I think at GWS, they probably told Callahan, you're playing mid this year. We're going to have you as a midfielder from now on. And that's why we saw him in the midfield in round 1. And Callahan in the midfield, I don't think will lose a spot now. Considering he signed a contract, knocked back a multi-million-dollar contract, Callahan could be the real deal. And it's possibly worth even taking a buy round for him and missing 1 week, copying a 40 to 50 point loss to bring in Callahan. Another thing I noticed with Callahan was last year he went at 60% disposal efficiency. This game, round 1, he went at 85%. So this game was actually out of the normal, okay? So there is downside to his score. However, with that, there wasn't many hardball gets, and there wasn't many contested possessions, and there wasn't many tackles. So there was actually upside. So if he can go at 85%, and then get those hardball gets, etc., and the tackles and the contested possessions, he actually has the upside. But I don't think anyone can maintain an 85% disposal efficiency. So I think a realistic figure for Callahan is around about 105 to 110, and that's value. Now, my boy Charles also asked me another question, okay, and he asked me, pick one of these, P. Pasisi or Greek Gyros, and I think I love the Greek Gyros, okay, it's my favorite. So actually, it's my favorite ever, the Greek Gyros. The P. Pasisi I like, okay, but not as much as I like the Greek Gyros. Just come a deal! Now, Humphreys O'Kane has asked me, Is Smith likely to finish in the top 6 to 8 fours this season? I'd say top 8, yes. Top 6, I think unlikely, okay? But top 8, yes. So Smith at his price could even be a good spare you can have in your team. But those spare players, I like an F7. But for F7, I'd prefer to have a full forward, especially one from Geelong in the back half of the season because they're going to play Richmond twice. So I'm passing on Smiths, but it doesn't mean you should. It's just my opinion. Now, Pat has asked me, Cripps or Dunkley for M1. Because of the round 12 bye, I would definitely go Dunkley. And plus, Dunkley has an awesome draw. Although Cripps also has a good draw, Dunkley has a better draw. So I'd say Dunkley for M1 if I was going to pick between the two of them. Plus, in round 12, the round 12 bye is a disaster zone. You still got to get the Bonte in. You got Cheezels, you got Sherry. You got so many options with that round 12 bye. So I'd pass on Cripps for now. I'll try to grab him after the bye if you really want Cripps. Let's move over to Ryan now. Now, Ryan says, your thoughts on Bailey Humpty. Okay, now I believe he'll break out, so have him as a pod. If he fails, I'll go to Flynn when he has bye, depending on how Flynn goes. Now, the only thing is with Humpty is his disposal efficiency. He just kicks the ball, okay? He doesn't even look. Okay? I don't know if he can see, if he's short-sighted, because he just grabs the ball and kicks it, okay? As far as he can. It's like he's playing kick-to-kick with his mates. So I'm not sold on Humpty, unfortunately. And because he doesn't have a lot of that mid-time, I think for me, Humpty is a pass for me. Now, Lappy2706 has another question. Okay, he's asked here, how many rookies should we have on field at most? Now, this depends on your structure, okay, because everyone has a different structure. With my current structure, I have 6 rookies on field, and mind you, one of those rookies gets taken out because of best 22, and so I only have 5. So, but some people have 7. I think 7 is a good number. I've seen some people have 9, so it depends on the structure. But there's no right or wrong answer. So if you're going to ask how many do I have, well, my answer is 6 at the moment. I have had 7 for most of the year, okay, well, most of the pre-season. It's just dropped to 6 recently because all these mid-prices are going crazy and doing my head in. Now, Dylan has asked me a question, but I'm not sure if I can answer this question, okay? Now, he says here, I replied with my team, and can you help me, okay? Now, I can't see the team. That's the problem. Well, the problem he has, all right, let's work this out now. Would you rather Cheezels, Houston, and Foss? Okay, that's a good combination, okay? Or Perryman, Short, and Dawson. Now, Perryman offers value. Short offers value. Dawson could offer value if he has the same output as he did in 2023. He's got 100k of value there. Cheezels pretty much priced at what he's going to be at. Maybe offers 20 or 30k value. Houston, we don't even know what his role is proper yet at Collingwood. And Foss is a rookie who's going to make cash. Points-wise, you're going to score more points from this lot. Perryman, Short, and Dawson is what I think. Now, Steve Smith, and I'm not sure if Steve Smith is the one that plays cricket for the Australian team. So let's just assume that he is. So we've got our legend here, Steve Smith, okay, the captain of Australia. Now, well, ex-captain, but doesn't matter. He says here, is Flynn a lock now in the flex, knowing that Briggs will drop a bottom price? Archer Reid as bench for DPP. Now, I'm not sure on Archer Reid's job security, okay? So that's one question, okay? So I can't answer this with Archer Reid. I know Boyd's going to play. Well, I don't even know if Boyd's going to play, but I think he is going to play this week. So maybe Boyd could be this ruck option here, but you want DPP. So Flynn at flex, well, to answer this question first, Briggs will not drop to bottom price, okay? Briggs had a score of 5, but that was round 1. By the time we get to round 4, that price will be in the system. We get to round 5, that price drops out. Okay, so that price is already gone. Okay, so well, not round 5 because you're going to have a couple of buy rounds in there. So he's going to miss one. We're going to have a buy round, but you sort of after 4 games, that score of 5 drops out of the system. So if Briggs scored 5 in his 3rd game, that's when his price will bottom out. But he only did it in his 1st game, so it doesn't bottom out as bad as people are thinking. So he may drop by 50k. That's about it. That's maximum. Okay, so I don't think this is going to work to bring Briggs in. Now, Lucas asked me, Naz or Holmes, or at least the pros and cons. Well, they both got the same pros and same cons, okay? Are they top 6 to 8? Do they offer value? Which one of these two can go next level, okay? I think Holmes last year, pretty much, output was very good. Is he going to go 120? I mean, he's not going to have as many mid-minutes, playing a lot of half-back and a bit of mid-minutes. I don't think there's room for elevation there. Naz the same. I can't see Naz being a top 6 defender or Holmes. So I'd say both of them are not going to be top 6. They may be top 7 to 10, which still is a good option. Okay, you can always upgrade them if you can't afford other players. But I always look for players with value. I'm not sure how much value Naz has. Maybe he has a little bit of value. I think from memory he's 540k. So maybe from 540k he can go to maybe 570k. I think. I don't think he'll go to 600 because to get 600 you need a 120 average. I can't see that happening for Naz. And Holmes I can't see also going to 120 average. So I think they're priced at what they're priced at. Now Jaden XL has said here, Callaghan. Is he in contention? He definitely is. Callaghan is definitely in contention, okay, young man. Now, Barnaby Goulven, okay, this young man here, has said, any point starting Callaghan with round 2 bye, or should I just pick him after his bye, just before he goes up in price? To be honest, okay, now this is the problem. In round 3, okay, round 3, you're going to have so many things happening with correction trades. You may not even have a chance to bring in Callaghan. You may have other problems. You may have a player got injured. You got to fix him up. You may have a defense rookie that's gone out and a new defense rookie's on a bubble. We don't know what's going to happen in round 3. I'm happy to start Callaghan, cop a 50-point loss in round 2, and just sleep well at nights, knowing in round 3 I could do whatever needs to be done with other things. So, because the future can't be forecasted, to play it safe, I'd rather start Callaghan. Now, AJ has asked me a question. He wants me to rank Short, Roberts, and Perryman in order of priority, or are they all priorities? Well, I have all 3 of them, okay, if that sort of ranks it for you. But in priority order, I think Roberts is first, only because what he showed he could do on the weekend, okay, so he looked unbelievable. I think Perryman is second because of the mid-minutes he's got. I think Short is third because of the unknown, okay, we don't know enough about him. So Short is more riskier than these two, but I think Roberts first, Perryman, and then Short. Now, young man over here, Prime Goulden, has asked, how should I spend the 50k? And now, Prime, if you've got 50k spare, you know at Abs Magic we're short on cash. Just come it down. Now, Tom Clark has asked me, Rankin plus Ashcroft or Sarong and Baz? Well, for starters, I think Rankin is a must-have, okay? Rankin is so cheap now. Sarong is at 620k. A couple of tags, his price will drop. Rankin's price can't drop, okay? Even if he has 2 tags. The only way Rankin's price can drop is if he gets injured. Because he's already cheap. He's at 520k. So Rankin's can only go up. So to answer the question, I would go Rankin and Ashcroft. Now, my boy here, Matthew English, the fine young man, and he says here, can I win the 50k with these spuds? Okay, let's check out these spuds, okay? I'm going to open this in a new tab, okay? Over here, enlarge it. Now, Shizel, Zorko, the very... Now, we're not sure on O'Sullivan. Now, if O'Sullivan plays, this is huge. But however, Leak, not very confident on, okay? So watch out for Leak. And this is the problem with going 4 at the back. We're not sure if we can get 4. We know these 2 are going to play, okay? The rest we're not sure about, so we'll have a problem. With the midfielders, we got guns in here, okay? All guns. And take note, he's got no cheapos. He's shopped at Aldi like I have, okay? But me and Matthew English, we both shop at Aldi. Sometimes we go to the markets together. We catch a train because we can't afford petrol. Just come it down. Now, his rucks, okay, it's a Gorner, the Conning, Actually, this looks like my team. Okay, you've got Flynn there. It's a very good team. This team has potential for that 50k. I think maybe 5k because Abs Magic might win the 50k this year. So I think you're guaranteed to win the 5k anyway. This is a very good team, young man. Now the Gym Junkie has asked me a question, and he's asked me if we should pay to watch your YouTube content to cover admin costs in the future. No, Gym Junkie, YouTube content is for free. You don't have to pay nothing. Just watch the commercials. That's enough payment for me. So the answer is no. Now, Supercoach with Nick. Do you think there's too many mid-price players in my team? And general thoughts. I'm okay knowing some won't pan out, but I think there's a lot of good mid-price options. I could switch to it if it doesn't work. Specifically in defense with port halfbacks. Let's have a look now, okay? Let's have a look at this team. Short, Roberts, Perryman. I've pretty much got the same. Frazier is a risk, okay? We're not sure on Frazier, and we know that Leak has got job security problems, so we have a problem with Leak. I'm not sold on Frazier, but it could be, like he said, he could switch to one of the port defenders, so that's not a problem. If he's willing to do a trade, sometimes you have to gamble, okay? And this one could work. The bench is solid, okay? We're hoping these players will play. We know Camp's going to play, Camporeale. We think that Hassel's going to play and Boxshall. So the team is looking really good, young man, okay? Meek, that's an interesting one, okay? I like this one, Meek. And up forward, we have all the guns here. Now, we're missing somebody. Who are we missing here? We've got Flynn there as well. We're missing Rankin, okay? So that's the only one you're missing. But you've covered it with the rest. You can't have one. You can't have everybody. So I think this team could really go nuts, okay? I'm not sure on the job security of this young man here, okay? So you might have to take him out, but you can replace him with the Tiger Armstrong, okay? It looks like Armstrong's going to play, so just put Armstrong here. And this team is looking good. I actually like it a lot. Sometimes you got to risk it for the biscuit, okay? It's worth the risk. And I'm taking risks. We've got nothing to lose, okay? We don't win the 50k if we don't take risks, okay? So we can't all drive on the same freeway. Some of us have to take alternative routes. So I think this is a well-thought-out team, and congratulations, young man. Now, we've come to the end of the episode. Now, I'm not sure how long this video goes for, but what I can show you is this, okay? Let me go to the file, okay? We have quite a few files in here, so this could be a 1 hour episode, maybe a bit longer. I'm not sure exactly how long it's going to be because it doesn't tell me, because I do it in drips and drabs, on and off. So if it succeeds, we'll continue it next week. If it's a flop, we'll do something else next week. Anyway, that's all for today. Thank you for joining, and remember one thing: it's nice to be important, but it's important to be nice. Ciao for now.
That's all, folks.